Journalism, basic, one image.
Let's mute everyone.
Okay,
Good
1
idea.
of 4. Spring Lake provides needed habitat for birds, insects, and mammals. It is also a popular fishing destination. Unfortunately, tangles of fishing line, hooks, and gear can be seen at almost every turn. Much of the fishing litter is comprised of plastic, which does not biodegrade. The fishing line tangled in this branch is almost indistinguishable from the spider's web. This nest is comprised in large part of fishing line and other plastic refuse. Plastic-laced nests are hotter than nests constructed with natural material, possibly impacting chick development. This photo requires no explanation. Fishing litter has lethal consequences for wildlife. Volunteers at Spring Lake regularly help collect fishing line and other litter. More needs to be done.
Okay. Steve, is that your mouse in the middle of that photo? Because
Thank you.
Cool, thank you. This is an interesting sequence as starting to tell a story. A few concerns I have about this sequence is that each of these images is reading differently light-wise. So there's some dark ones and some light ones. And there's no real sense of place because this is supposed to be Spring Lake and it's supposed to be about birds and the fishing lines. And we haven't seen any water and we haven't seen any birds except part of a bird carcass. So I think that given 4 shots here, you could have told the story with some different images, but this image I wanted to speak to particularly because this is the please don't stop shooting. your ability to see things as really good, and this is a really lovely shot. I really love this shot. The others, the sequence itself is not quite working for me, but this one's a lovely one. So the other thing I would do is perhaps check my titles, because when I was going through this judging, most of the sequences actually have a sequence name. So it might be sort of like Fishing Lines or Spring Lake or something, and then the story. So it was very difficult to see that this was a series just by the titles too. So just a heads up there if that's what I saw. Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Journalism intermediate, 2 images.
Moroccan nomads, 1 of 4. The nomadic Berbers have lived for centuries in the deserts of Morocco. Their tents are made of panels woven from goat and camel hair. A Berber woman spins the wet fiber that will be woven onto a backstop loom. This family needs to end their nomadic life because of military operations in the area. They're building a new mud home. Income will be from leading camel rides for tourists.
This is a really nice sequence. And in this sequence, all the images are sort of reading sort of like a sequence in terms of color and light. I love the mix of close-ups and distance shots, which is really good for a story when you've got 4 shots. The mix really works. And if this is journalism category 2 and you're looking at the possibility of, say, this appearing in a magazine or a newspaper, you want that mix, and the eye wants that mix of close-ups and distance shots. I really like that. My concern here is that this family was mentioned in the 4th of the shots, the last one, and we haven't really seen the family. So this is about the nomadic Berbers, it's about their lifestyle, and it's about the changes that are impacting them. And we've got a foot and a hand on the 3rd shot and nothing of the family. And that sort of just concerns me a little bit. I was left wanting. I would like to see a little more of how they live, maybe even some pots and pans, but a sign of life, which is, I'm sort of seeing it from the outside, but not from the inside. So just a thought there, but nice sequence, nice, well shot sequence. Thank you.
Harsh. The harsh, abrupt clearing of this homeless camp serves only to increase stress amidst hopeless people. This tragic pointlessness will repeat again elsewhere. Jennings Park, March 2021. Unseen and unheard, the owner of this wheeled home has abandoned it and disappeared into the rain near Jennings Park, March 2021.
This is a nice sequence. In 2 shots, you've told the story. It's incredibly sad, and that's coming through in these images, even though that they're not people there. We know there are people there, and we know that this is such a sad situation, and I'm feeling that in looking at the images. It's been well captured. The contrast of somebody's life and a mechanical mover of things like a sort of digger thing there is just a really interesting and tragic contrast. So nice shot. And the second one is like, it's got a different feel about it. It's like, this is somebody's possessions and we're seeing them in front of a no stopping any time sign in the middle of a road in a red zone. And yeah, there's an enormous amount of emotion in these shots. So well done. Well done. Steve, am I doing the wrong thing? Should I be waiting until you go through the entire series?
I'm sorry, I
Sorry,
couldn't get,
should I wait until you go through all the images in journalism and then go back and start? Because I think I might be jumping the gun on you, am I?
no, I go through when there's a sequence, I go through all 4 images. Bill reads the titles. I go back to the first one. And if you could say, go to the second or go to the third, if you want to focus on a particular one,
Cool.
let me know.
Okay, thank you. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong.
Journalism Advanced, 2 images.
August 20, 2020, 8:26 a.m. This panoramic shot shows the smoke from the Myers fire spreading over western Sonoma County, the start of 30 straight spare the air days. Not a sequence.
This is an amazing shot. This is like the epitome of what a journalism shot should be, because everything that we need to know about this is in this image. It's got a clear sense of place. It's got that smoke is amazing. It's just an incredible capture of again, a tragedy of a different nature that we live through. So nice shot, well captured, well seen. And yeah, great. Jaw-dropping, actually, that one. So thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Heritage. Santa Rosa Rural Cemetery, established 1854, gives a glimpse of the multi-ethnic roots of the city. Julio Carrillo, heir to the Mexican land grant and founder of the city, lies here. The right plot commemorates a wealthy founding family. One small marker in that plot, dedicated to Davis Wright, stands out due to its added inscription, "Colored Boy." Not far away is the grave of John Richards. There's no mention of ethnicity on the marker, but records reveal that he was born a slave and became a popular barber and businessman. Asian names are scattered on markers large and small throughout the grounds, but almost all are Japanese Americans. Chinese American burials were not permitted until the 1930s.
Okay, yeah, can we go back to 1, please, Dave? This is a really charming sequence and it's been well captured. My concern here is that all of these images look visually the same. They're all about the same sort of size. They're just an entire gravestone. I think that the 4th one, if you could just go to the 4th one for me, Steve, for a second, and then we're going back to number 2. So that's 2, 3, 4. Okay, number 4, it's really, really difficult to see the wording on this gravestone. And so if I was looking for a 4 shot from this series, I would drop this one, because I don't think that I don't think the visuals are there for the caption. It's really difficult to see unless it's a really large image. That said, if we wind back to number 2, this is where I think we've got an opportunity missed. Okay, there's a small marker there in the front that's got a crack through it, and that is the marker that has the inscription colored boy. I would have thought that this would have been a nice shot in itself. So just focusing in on that small gravestone, it's got a crack through it. It's not a very fancy gravestone. It contrasts very strongly with all the other gravestones in the images. So I think that you would have got a visually more interesting journalistic sequence here by getting some close-ups, a mix of close-ups and longer shots. You've got the longer shots, but there are no close-ups, and I think there's a missed opportunity in that gravestone there. But otherwise, it's a pleasing sequence. Thank you.
Journalism Masters, 6 images.
San Francisco Pride Parade, 1 of 4, where thousands come to celebrate. Some come to celebrate by continuing commitments. Some come to celebrate by dressing up. Some come to celebrate by dressing down.
Yeah, this is a funny one. This is great. I mean, it's colorful, and that's what Pride's all about. And you certainly captured Pride in these photos. The guy in the orange shirt here in the front, little bit of a worry because your eye wants to go to words. And so he's got a very bright orange shirt and he's got text on it. And so my eye keeps wanting to go down there and I keep going, no, wait a minute, the rest of the photo deserves to be looked at. So perhaps a little bit of different cropping to get rid of at least the words on his t-shirt might have helped that image just a little bit. Just always watch words on people's shirts. Could we go to just slowly through the rest of them, please? Because this is a wonderful sequence. That's a lovely, lovely shot. And everything that needs to be said is said in that. This is great, colorful, bright, smiling, cheery people. Great shot for a journalism sequence. The fourth one, now this is funny. I acknowledge it's amusing. However, I'm a little bit worried because I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking here. The lift sign is dragging my eyes because, again, text, something that is in writing, you want to try and decipher it, your eye wants to go there. And for the rest of it, there is not a central person or a central concept that I'm seeing here that is as clear as was in shots 1, 2, and 3. So while, yes, it is a funny shot, if you like, I think it drags the rest of the sequence down just a little bit. It might be stronger for the first 3 and leaving this one behind because there is no strong subject here. But if we go back to the previous shot, just number 3, there's no doubt about what the subject is here. They're colorful, they're big, they're right in the middle, and you want to look at them. We're not seeing that in the 4th shot. So that's my only thought there, but nice sequence, well done.
Women's rights or human rights. January 2017, Women's March was another indication that women are a powerful force and will stand up and use their voices to empower their daughters and each other.
Okay, so this is a single shot, and this is a shot about a women's rights march. My issue with this, it's got lots of color, it's got some compelling people in the foreground, but as a journalism story, I'm not seeing the march, and I'm not seeing the promise in a way that you have in the title, that women are a powerful force, will stand up, use their voices, empower their daughters. I think if you had an opportunity to add a second shot that was the actual march, then you could use this. I think if this was a person who was a notable person, one of these 2 women were notable people, that might have helped in that sense. But I'm not quite seeing march here. I've got a big car sitting behind these 2 women and a group of other people behind. So I'd like to see more from this sequence. I'd like to see more of that feeling of the march because I'm not quite getting it. Otherwise, nice shot would be good paired with something else, I think. Thank you.
Traffic jam. Co-driver Sean McNamara leaps clear as Brian McNamara steers their winch-assisted vehicle Through the Boulders. 2020 King of the Hammers, Johnson Valley, California.
This is a great shot. This is just a fantastic shot. There's dust, there's dirt, there's, there's action. You can almost smell it. Everything that you need to tell this story is in this one shot. It's very mid-tone intensive. There's very little contrast in it. There are very little highlights, certainly no blacks or practically no blacks in this image at all. So it's very mid-tone contrasty, but lovely shot. Very, very good capture of the moment. Well done.
Traditional facial scarification has been done in Africa for beauty and identification with the tribe. Illegal now in many countries, it is still popular in some rural areas. Maasai warrior, Kenya.
This is a great shot. This is a really lovely shot. It's in crisp focus. The background is giving it a sense of place. There's great contrast. It's a compelling image. The warrior is looking at us. That's always a big plus. If we've got catch lights in the eyes, our eyes want to go and look at them. We want to see those lights in the eyes. It's just a really nice shot. Well done.
Steer clear warning at Jack London State Park, Glen Ellen, California.
I'm a sucker for grunge and give me a dirty sort of paint coming off, flaking off at sign and you've got me. I like that part of the image. I'm just missing the story here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be feeling about this. Does this mean that I can't go to the park? Does this mean that somebody's put the sign to one side and the park is now open? I'm just not getting the connection between the sign and what emotion I'm supposed to have here. So I think that perhaps a longer shot, a 2-shot or something, but right now all I'm seeing is a sign behind a fence. And whilst it's a nice shot, I'm not seeing the story behind this. Thank you.
Goats for rent, 104. Goats are in increased demand to clear land for fire protection. This herd cleared an 8-acre lot in just days, quietly and efficiently. Goats consume wheat, grass, flowers, and invasive species such as blackberries and even poison oak. Llamas are included to protect the herds from predators. Even kids are agile, seeking food in hard-to-get spots. Goats are especially good at hilly terrain.
This is a great sequence. It's an unassuming sequence. It's telling its story. There's a good mix of close-up and long shots. The images have all got a sort of similar colors and stuff and similar lights and darks that's going to look good together. The one thing I have is on image 3. Could we go forward to image 3, please, Steve? Thank you. So given that these goats look like they're sort of relatively tame, and given that you might have had a chance to get 2 or 3 shots here and pick your best shot, what's worrying me here is the goat behind the llama, where if it was a female llama, it might have a bag or something. They're the teats, and I'm looking at these goat's legs and trying to sort of reconcile goat's legs with the fact that it's appearing underneath the llama. If you could find a shot that had clear grass underneath the llama, I think you would have nailed it. I'm just a little bit concerned of the mix up here, and I'm continue trying to look there and just sort of remove that goat so that I can enjoy the llama. But really good to include the llama too, because that's something I didn't know, and it's always nice to learn something that you didn't know about things, and putting llamas with goats is not something I knew that they did. Thank you.
Monochrome basic, 4 images.
Don't be afraid, I'm the good kind.
Oh, I'm talking. Okay. This is a nice nice image, good depth of field. So you've got the snake in focus and the background is out of focus. Nicely done. The snake is recognizable, but there's still sort of a lack of contrast here, which works really well because it's almost like the snake, the camouflage of the snake is being reinforced in that sort of slightly lacking in contrast element. So I think it's a really nice shot. Well done.
Waiting for dinner.
Okay, so this is a scary shot. It's like, if you don't like spiders, you're not going to like this image, but it's a great black and white shot. There's a lot of white here. There's a lot of black here. There's not a lot of stuff in the mid-tones, which is always really nice to see a shot that is quite literally black and white with very few grays in it. The contrast is really smart here. Like this image a lot. Well captured. Thank you.
A moment in time.
Yeah, these are nice shots. It's always nice to see industrial elements, if you like, photographed smartly. This is nice. It's got a nice depth of field effect. The right things are in focus. The repetition of those cogs on the gear in front of us are in focus. It begs to be looked at. There's plenty, even just in a part of a gear here, there's plenty for your eye to sort of move around and enjoy. So nice shot, well captured. Thank you.
Early March along the Kungsleden Trail, northern Sweden.
Okay, you feel cold just looking at this image, and that's exactly what it should. It should give you an emotion, and it makes me feel freezing cold. It's a great choice for black and white, and images like this always work really particularly well in black and white because you can concentrate on the textures. So we've got lovely soft snow, and the snow is soft on the mountains, and then we've got those really spiky trees that are in focus. So we can enjoy that contrast of textures in the image. It's a nice, well composed, it's a nice, pleasant composition. So well done, thank you.
Monochrome intermediate, 7 images.
Mountains near Sossusvlei, Namibia.
This is another one of those landscapes where black and white is perfect. It's got mood. This image is so moody and it's got so much texture in it. It's really a lovely, lovely shot. I'm glad you went really wide on it too, because if you've got plenty of detail that you can make a real landscape image here, that's awesome. There's great contrast in the foreground with the background. You could lose yourself in this image for hours. It's really lovely. Well done.
Composition, grass, sand, water.
Yeah, this is, again, a really good choice for black and white because it's all about the textures. We've got those lovely spiky grasses. We've got the sand behind it, which is nice and smooth. And then those beautiful, beautiful ripples in the water. So the light has been caught in just the right places. And so we can just really enjoy the textural contrast here. So it's a well-chosen image and nicely shot. Well done. Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Pale daisy.
This is an interesting shot. I like the perspective that it's been shot from underneath the flower. I always think that if you're going to shoot flowers, you have to do something a bit different. It has to be something that makes you go, well, that's an interesting perspective. And we don't often see flowers like this from the underneath. That said, what's a little confusing, a little bit disturbing to me is the amount of grain in this image. It's grain everywhere. So the background's grainy, the flower petals are grainy, and even though in real life they would be smooth, they're really grainy and textured here. So it seems like there's a lot of texture hitting me, and it's sort of almost like it's indiscriminate texture. So it may not be the best treatment for this image, but it's certainly a nice shot. It's interesting to look at. The texture, the overabundance of texture is just a little bit visually disconcerting. Thank you.
Angles.
Oh, thank you. So, this is great. This is an amazing image. It's really well spotted. You don't always see these images. The angles are just incredible. They're nice and strong lines, and there's only so few of them in the image that you really want to study them. The texture on the buildings is amazing, and it's repetitious. So there's lots of things that occur over and over and over. You were blessed with an amazing sky here, nicely captured, because a clear sky would be a totally different image, but I really like the clouds in this one. So well chosen to be in black and white. I think that black and white just makes you focus on the textural elements in the buildings, and then that nice soft sort of cloudy moody sky behind. So nice shot, well done.
Bovine affection.
Well, this is a cute shot. There's something to be liked about a couple of cows in a field, and nice rendition in black and white. Again, you've got a lot of textural contrast here because the ground is sort of a bit rough and spiky, and yet the cows' hides, you know, they're going to be soft. They got that sort of silky luster to them. You've got a bit of a depth of field effect. The background's a little bit out of focus. So there's a nice sort of textural contrast as well as that out of focus background. So a nice little shot. Well done.
Symmetry is underrated.
It is, isn't it? I like this shot. There are some people who do nothing but shoot symmetry, and it's always nice to see that people see symmetry because people don't always see it. And this is a nice little symmetrical image. There's plenty here to look at. So there are all these sorts of details like the numbers and the locks, and there's slightly different positions. And so you just want to try and resolve those. So, and the little nameplates that have been painted over. So nice choice of black and white. Probably wouldn't have worked in color, but certainly works really, really well here in black and white. So nice shot, well seen and well captured. Thank you.
Moroccan school child.
There's something about small children who look at you with big eyes, and it's really hard not to love an image like this. And it's a great shot. She's in focus, the background's slightly out of focus. She's got gorgeous eyes. You've got catch lights in the eyes so that we're compelled to look at eyes, and these eyes are just beautiful. She's just gorgeous, and it's been so well captured. Really, really nice shot. Would love to have taken this shot myself. Thank you.
Monochrome advanced, 4 images.
Reflecting on breakfast.
This is a lovely shot. This is a shot that has very few blacks in it, and mainly in the mid-tones and the lighter areas. We've got quite a bit of detail in this bird's feathers, and certainly in the headrest, the head feathers. The water is absolutely astonishing, and the reflection is just wonderful. So kudos for seeing this, kudos for capturing it. You've also done something which sometimes people don't do, and given the bird room to move. So because the bird is moving forward, and we know that it's sort of pointing in that direction and moving forward, you've given it plenty of image space to move into, so we don't feel like we're sort of jammed in. So well composed and nicely shot. Love this image. Thank you.
Cow crossing.
Well, this image is black and white, but it's almost color, because I can't look at this without replacing that sky with a really, really dark blue, and that foreground with sort of yellowy grasses. It's an amazing capture. It's really, really beautiful. There's so much detail here, crisp detail in the foreground, beautiful skies, and also rendered in black and white. It just begs you to color it in your head, which is really good because you want to spend time with this image. So love this. Very well done. Nice shot.
Engineering as abstract.
Yeah, again, we're back to wheels and cogs and things, and lovely repetitious elements. There are all of those rivets and the bolts and the cogs on the wheel. There's so much to really enjoy in this image and to look at. It's in sharp focus, as it should be, because that allows us to enjoy all the elements here, as well as those wires in the background on the left. and then that amazing sky. So it's really nice to have that soft texture in the sky. This is well captured. It's nicely composed. I'm not concerned about the fact that the main element is in the middle of the shot. I think that works really well here. And I certainly like the repetition of elements. Well done.
Land's End.
I want to go out and get a parka or a warm jacket and put it on, because this image is making me feel cold and windy. This is amazing. It's like, there's so much going on here. There is so much to look at. There's so much action. There's so many amazing lines. The sea is boiling. There's that amazing burst of spray in the foreground, and those trees that are leaning because they've been blown by the wind for so long. This is just an amazing shot. Again, it's a shot that you want to spend time with because there are so many things going on here. Really well captured. I mean, it is a frozen moment in time because that spray would have disappeared in 2 or 3 seconds. So it's not the kind of shot that you can spend a lot of time composing in a sense, because you're only going to get that spray as it happens. So nicely taken. Well done. Love that. Thank you.
Monochrome Masters, 9 images.
Self-portrait.
Well, there are a few images tonight that made me go, wow, and this is one of them. This is really well done. It's also something that sort of, in the sense of us being locked in for the last year, it's the sort of thing that you could do at home, and that's really amazing in that you can capture shots like this fairly easily once you study how to do it, but it can be done in a very small environment. And the light here is perfect. There's just the right amount of light to bring out the features, not too much to overburden us with detail. So it's a really well captured image. Well done. Love it a lot.
Petals.
Yeah, this is again not an easy image to capture, because these petals are all white, and to get detail in whites is really, really hard. So this has been beautifully exposed to get that detail in the whites. We're seeing the edges of the petals on this flower. The flower is not entirely captured, it's being cropped, and that's fine because there's a sort of element of mystery here, but there's lots of curly petals and just an amazing form here. So I really, really like this shot, and it's really been well captured. Well done.
Echo motion.
This is an interesting shot. It's really, there's plenty of movement here to enjoy. They're not easy shots to capture. It certainly does invite you to explore it a little bit more and try and sort of reconcile exactly what's going on here. So thank you for that. It's a nice little shot. Well done.
Art is.
Now, this is sort of a sign of the times, isn't it, that we take photos of things rather than just stand and enjoy them. So that seems to be a sort of a capture that reflects the sign of the times. Little bit worried about the image that's cut off on the, I think I said left earlier and it wasn't left. I have trouble with left and right, but I think I'm correct this time, that the image on the left is being cut off. And so I'm a little bit concerned about that. Little bit worried about that, but it is an interesting shot. The stance of the subject makes you sort of look, because her foot is one foot's in front of the other, and yeah, it's an interesting little shot. Well seen and well captured. Thank you.
Aftermath.
This is amazing. This is a really, really lovely photograph. It is so complex, and there are so many places in this photograph that your eye can sit and relax. There's sort of a black area up in the top left, and there are some other sort of black areas which is sort of natural resting places for your eye, and yet there's so much else going on with the sort of crisscross of the branches. Beautifully rendered in black and white. I'd be really interested to see the color, but I'm really glad that you did it in black and white. So it's in focus and it's really, really interesting. Thank you.
Distended.
to look at this a few times to work out that the building wasn't actually coming down to the ground, because it certainly has that look about it. It's well seen. It's great in black and white, because in black and white, the only thing that we can focus on is the shapes of this building, which is probably what the architect wanted us to do anyway, because they wouldn't have built it like this if they didn't want us to look at it. So we're really able to focus on the lines of the building and also the softer elements like the tree in the foreground. So it's been very well shot. I'm glad it's pretty much sharp all the way through. It begs to be sharp all the way through, because there's so much even in the background elements of those buildings further down the street that we really want to look at, because they're still visually interesting. So it's, yeah, well seen, well captured, like that shot a lot. Thank you.
Old barns are not cleaned up very often.
Yeah. So this is a nice little shot. There's nice contrast here. It's an interesting element to look at, the saddlery in the left hand side and a bit of sort of leather down the right, and then this tin bucket. If I have concerns here, it's that there's a lot of grain in this image, and sort of I'm wondering if there's a bigger story here that we're perhaps not seeing. So I'm tempted to want to see more of this barn from this image, because I'm not sure that it's telling me the entire story that I could see here. But it is a nice shot, so well done. Thank you.
Villagers, rural Myanmar.
This is really unexpected. I've just never seen anything like this. This seems like almost an old Hollywood set of a sort of southern farm or something. And that surprises me, because I didn't expect to see it in rural Myanmar. So well done, kudos. You've shown me something that I've not seen before. And that's always exciting to see in photography, is something that's different. The characters are gorgeous. They're absolutely superb. They didn't get specially dressed up for this image. It's just, it seems like it's a capture of their life, and it's fascinating. It's well shot. It's in nice focus throughout, so there's plenty of detail in the background that we can enjoy as well. So well done, and thank you for showing me something that was unexpected.
Fight or flight?
This is a really visually interesting image. There's this amazing contrast between the bird in the foreground, which is in fairly sharp focus and is obviously fairly crisp, and we can see the feather detail very clearly, and the background, which is really textured and just very, very different. So it is a really nice mix of elements. It's the kind of image that you could spend a bit of time looking at, because there are these conflicting elements in it. It's been well captured. It's really interesting shot. Thank you. Enjoyed that one.
Okay, we'll take a 5 to 10 minute break. Basic 4 images.
A bright morning at Mundesley on the North Sea, Norfolk, England. Your cursor, Steve.
I don't think he hears you.
Your cursor.
Oh, cursor.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So this is a beautiful image. It's really nicely captured. I love the repetition of all of those wooden thingies down the beach. I think they're probably to stop erosion, but it's really, really interesting image. If I had a chance, I would ask to try and get rid of that post in the bottom right corner of the image. Left, right? Yeah, right corner of the image. It seems to me like it's dragging my attention away from the scene, the long vista that we've got in front of us. And I think that the grasses would have been sufficient foreground detail. I think that you want some foreground detail, certainly, but I'm not sure that a honking big, rather uninteresting fence post is the foreground that I would like to see here. But well seen. It's beautiful light, beautiful clouds, just really lovely image. Love that sort of stuff. Thank you.
Staring contest.
Yeah, this little guy keeps looking at you. This is a really nice shot. There's no background. It's been depth of fielded out of the way, and that's really nice. The fact that we've got some highlights in both of this bird's eyes, less on the obviously the dark side, but there is a slight catchlight there, enough to allow us to interact with the bird. That spot of color obviously on its wing is just amazing. And you know what, even what it's standing on just really works in this image. It's not just anything, it's this beautiful dome that has this amazing shape to it. So there is so much working with this image. It's a really nice shot. Everything's in nice focus in the foreground where it should be. Well done, nice capture.
Stream of lilies.
Yeah, sometimes there've been a few images in these sequences that have surprised me, and this is another one. I have never seen anything like this. We don't have lilies like this in Australia. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gobsmackingly beautiful, this image. The light is amazing. The lilies are just so beautiful. The color is extraordinary going through, and that lovely shape that they are doing, that little creek or whatever it is that's running along, and then they disappear behind the tree. So it's the composition is really nice. The light is just beautiful and even, and yet you've got this sort of sunrise or sunset over in the left-hand corner. Everything's lovely and sharp, so we can enjoy the foreground details sort of up until that's probably that big tree on the left, and then things get a little bit out of focus. But really well composed, beautiful shot. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thanks.
Morning in the Kauai Basin.
Well, the first thing I saw in this image was that the reflection is actually more saturated blue than the sky, which is just extraordinary. It's a beautifully captured shot. Everything is in just incredible detail. And the fact that you've got this amazing reflection, which is as crisp as the actual what's above the water as reflected in it. So I just really, really like that. I love the foreground detail too, because in the very foreground, we've got just those little wispy bits of grass with a little bit of light coming through. So there's a lot of visual interest to sort of anchor the foreground as well. So really nicely composed, really lovely shot. Well done.
Pictorial intermediate, 9 images.
Dancing heffalumps.
Well, it's always lovely to see industrial shots used, because there's something in industrial shapes that's always really interesting. I like the color palette in this image. I like those sorts of grays, and there's a bit of cream in there. And then there's that sort of rust red along the bottom as well. So the colors are really nice. I'm not totally convinced about the sort of repetition into the skyline where it's black. I'm not sure that that's really working for me, but a nice shot at an image like this, and nice forms to choose to shoot, because there's certainly really interesting shapes there. Thank you.
Blue on green.
This is a little cutie. The background is beautifully dropped out with that depth of field effect. The bird is in good focus. You can see all the detail in his wings. He's just incredibly sweet. Catchlight in his eye, so again we're able to relate to him. He's looking so that we can see his eye. The contrast between the green and the blue in that sort of limited color palette is really, really nice. This is a lovely shot. Well done. Thank you.
Bud out, buddy.
Yeah. Again, this talking about color palettes, that's the first thing that I saw here was this, again, muted color palette with these sort of blue-green eucalypt leaves in the background, and then these white birds. White like this is really hard to shoot because get detail in those feathers is really tricky, and you've got some good detail there in the feathers. You've got the birds in sharp focus. Love those wispy feathers sort of down the bottom of the birds. They're almost silky with the light that you've captured on them there. So well done. This is a lovely little shot. Nice moment in time. This stuff's not easy to capture. Good work. Thank you.
Evening pause.
Another amazing color palette and just an amazing image. I mean, the backlight on this is just amazing. You've got enough of the backlight that really the entire animal is surrounded by light and just the right amount. You've also been able to get enough detail in the animal itself, because that's not easy to do with the light being behind the animal. You've got plenty of detail there. Even though we can't see a catch light in his eye, we can see the eye, and so we're able to interact with it. This is a really, really lovely shot. Well done. Thank you.
Sosafle Dunes, Namibia.
Again, as soon as I saw this shot, I just went, wow, this is just a brilliant shot. Really, really nice. What's really compelling about this shot is the foreground detail, because without the foreground detail, they would just be really pretty sand dunes. But with the foreground detail, you can see the scope of these. Those dunes are huge. So I'm really loving that there is enough of an anchor, a visual anchor in the foreground to sell us on the fact that these are extraordinarily big sand dunes. The color too, the foreground sand is sort of white and the sand dunes themselves are more sort of ochre. So, and I love the curves and the light and the dark. There's really, really strong lines through this. Really, really nice shot. Well done.
Street painter.
This is a nice little shot, and I love the concept of shooting people who are doing art, and street art is just amazing stuff. Really fun topic. My concern with this is I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like that the image might have been stronger with some elements of the painter, of the chalk artist around, maybe some of his chalks, maybe a look at his face because he's facing away from us, so we have no interaction with him. The child's eyes are going in a different direction, so again, we're not having a real interaction with the child. I think because it's an image that you could walk around, so presumably it's not like it's a bird that's going to fly away. You have a chance to spend a bit of time with your subject. I wonder whether we could have got some elements there that might have sold the image a little bit better with the detail of what he's doing. But otherwise, nice little capture. Well done.
Let's go where the mustard grows.
Love shots like this. There's something about beautiful flowers and amazing sunsets and color and light, and you can almost smell the air here. So this is a really nice shot. I love the fact that some of the spiky mustard grass in the foreground is taller than the rest, so that you get these sort of spikes of grass into the sky. The color palette's amazing. It's all greens and yellows, and there's plenty of detail in the foreground there. We can see the leaves and the flowers themselves. So very, very pleasing little capture. And you've got the sunlight captured well enough that there's actually still some detail there. So well done on that, because that's not easy to do. Thank you.
Still life with the hellebores.
These are beautiful flowers. I love this palette. It's almost like a Renaissance palette. Just beautiful, beautiful colors. Lovely vignetting around the image too. Really like that. It goes with the scene and the elements that you're photographing here. My only concern here is that the left and center flower are in pretty good focus. I'm worried about the right-hand flower because the center of it I'm not seeing really clearly. It's not my eye keeps wanting to make it sharper to see what's going on in the middle of the flower there. So that would be my only concern there, is that the focus on the edge of the leaves is good, but I think it needs to be in the center of the flower there. So, but otherwise, really nice little shot there. Love it.
Miner's lettuce.
Yep, and here again, we've got this focus thing. Like the shot, like the idea of the shot, love threes. Threes are always better than twos. Odd numbers always work really so much better than even numbers. The two flowers on the left, the little white flowers, are in focus. The one on the right isn't. Because they're so close together, because they're the white color in the image, because I want to go and look at them, it is disturbing to my eye that that other flower, the white flower, is not in focus. I think it would be better for that. Not easy to do, but nice shot. Love the thought of this shot. Would love to see it in focus. Well done. Thank you.
Pictorial Advanced, 11 images.
Water lilies.
This is a beautiful image. This is really, really lovely. There's so much going on here. We've got those leaves in the top. One of them's throwing a shadow onto the one below. They're in really nice focus. There's nothing there that my eye's going, please, can I see what's there? Because it's not in focus. The color palette is extraordinary. It's so subdued and yet so powerful. There's a lot going on in this image. It's an image that begs you to spend more time with it, and it's really nicely composed, nicely shot. Well done.
An intimate moment.
California poppies are just gorgeous. The colors are extraordinary, and then they have these amazingly interesting shapes. I'm just not convinced that this is the best California poppy image that I have seen. I'm not sure if we were trying to be amusing with the title, but I'm not seeing that it's carried through to the image itself. So love to see more of this, love to see more of these kind of shots. Everything's in sharp focus. I just think that perhaps the composition could have been a little different, a little stronger. Thank you.
Snow-covered survivor.
This is a lovely image. Really like the mess of those twigs and the branches on the tree, the strong light and dark with those larger branches. Again, it's an image that asks you to spend more time with it, just looking into those branches. So it's nicely sharp. I'm not concerned that it's all centered. I think it should be centered here. It's an image that, yeah, you could spend a lot of time with this image just enjoying it. Lovely shapes, well captured. Thank you.
Magnolia.
Again, flowers are so difficult to do something special with, and the photographer here has found something special to do with this one. It's lovely. It's not easy to get detail in things that are all the same color, and these are really pale pink leaves, and yet there's plenty of detail here. There's lots of curves and bends. There's a little bit of extra pink color. The fact that the middle of the flower is covered up by one of those petals is not concerning me at all, because I want to see what's behind it. I want to enjoy it and just imagine what's there. So this is a really charming image, well caught, nicely in focus, well composed, nice shot, well done.
Magical vantage point.
This is lovely. I love the colors in this image. They're just so saturated. Even if you remove the canoe and the canoeist halfway up the cliff there, the colors are just sort of these magical blues and greens and lime green. It's almost like a fairy tale, this image. And then just up in the top right, that little sort of fence or bridge or something, where your eye is sort of going up to that light streak up there, and then it sees the bridge and it's sent back down again. So you're actually invited to stay with this shot and enjoy it. So lovely colors, beautiful rendering of this image. Really like it. Could spend a lot of time looking at this one too. Thank you.
Beginnings of an apple.
So this image is rather exciting because I didn't ever look at an apple beginnings in quite this way before. It's certainly got lovely colors and it's nice and bright. What I'm a little bit concerned about is that your eye will go naturally to the brightest colors in this image. And right now, my eye is sort of going around the green of the apple base and those leaves that are sort of going out. And they're not in crisp focus. And what is in crisp focus is actually the darker bits of the flower that are sort of dying in the middle of the shot. And also the bottom of the apple is cut off. So I think a recomposition of this that actually gave me the bottom of the apple might be better, and perhaps try and get that in sharper focus because it is the lighter area of the image and that's where my eye is going. And again, I'm a little bit disturbed trying to make out those little furry hairs on the apple. So, but a really nice and interesting choice of topic. So thank you for showing me something that I've never seen before or never noticed before. Thank you.
Off-roading at 12,000 feet on White Mountain, Bishop, California.
This is an amazing shot. This is really, really amazing. Without those cars in the foreground, it would be really hard to determine the actual scope of what we're seeing here. But those are cars in the foreground and they are tiny. And this is really a big, big shot. So lovely capture. It's nice and sharp, beautiful colors, beautiful light. And just a really interesting photograph and just amazing that we have this much country here. This is awesome. And thank you for letting me enjoy it through your eyes. Nice shot.
Winter sunrise over the Santa Rosa Plains.
Yeah, this is beautiful. And it's typically Santa Rosa, foggy winter morning. Lovely colors in the sky, lovely fog. My only concern here is I think that this image wouldn't lose anything if those trees were in focus. And I think I want them to be in focus because I think that they are visually interesting against the background, and being out of focus is sort of a little bit concerning. So it would be interesting to me to see this shot with the trees in focus. I still think you're going to get the fog. I still think you're going to get that beautiful sort of softness behind them, but it's worrying me that those trees are not in focus. Otherwise, lovely capture. Well done for being up early enough to get it too. Thank you.
Imagine.
Yeah. Like I said, there are a few images in these sequences that just made me go, oh my God. And this is one of them. It's like, oh my goodness. This is just, there's something about this. It's really hard to put a finger on it, but there is something about this image that is just amazing. It's beautiful. It's a moment in time. It's not an easy capture because that bird is going places and that child is most definitely going places. So you have this fraction of time to put all of this together. The colors are extraordinary. I love the yellow and the purples. The child's clothing is pitch perfect for this shot because it's in those sort of aqua purples, but very muted colors. The clouds are beautiful. Everything's in focus. It's got something magical about this, and well done for seeing it. Well done for capturing it. Lovely, lovely photograph.
Sangre Roja.
Yeah. That reflection is just extraordinary. It's just brilliant. Love the fact that it's there. Love the fact that it is so red, so colorful. and the trees are just beautiful and sort of plenty of texture in there, and they're dark. It's a really nice moody image, but with a brilliant sky. Well done for seeing it. Not everybody sees reflections in puddles on the road, and it's a really nice little shot. Love that. Well done.
Monet's window.
Again, well done to this photographer, because a lot of people don't see wet days and rain on windows as being a photographic possibility. And you've seen this, and you've seen the color, and you've captured it, and that's really nice. Love to see images like this. A little concerning to me is those two eyes on whatever it is down the bottom. I'm not sure whether it's a butterfly. I'm not sure whether it's a pot. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And because I'm not sure, and because it looks like eyes, and we're going to be naturally attracted to things that look like eyes and try to resolve them, that is a little concerning to me as to what it is. And I'm missing the rest of the image because my eyes keep going down to those two dots center bottom to work out exactly what it is. Crop that out, and I think that the image would be more restful and more perhaps evocative of Monet's garden than it is with those eyes sitting there. So I'm very interested to hear what they are, because I still don't quite know. Thank you.
Pictorial Masters, 7 images.
Mount Diablo, 10 minutes before sunrise.
This is beautiful. The colors are just pitch perfect in this. It's just so still, and the colors are reflecting that stillness. There's plenty of foreground detail. It's pretty sharp. We know they're birds. We can see them in the water. It's impeccably smooth, which is just really, really gorgeous. So this is a lovely shot, well captured, well composed. Well done.
Early morning tea.
This is a nice photograph. I really like this. I like this because even though we can't see this person's face, their hands are telling a story. Their fingers have really interesting bends in them. The light has caught them in an interesting way. The light has caught the heavy cloth that there is over their head. So it's just a really nice little portrait that has a lot going for it. So yeah, nice to see that sort of thing. And I'm not worried that I can't see the face, because I think that I'm pretty relaxed in this person's company. So I'm enjoying this photo. Well done. Thank you.
Agni.
Okay, so somebody shot this one for me because I'm a sucker for textures. I'm a big sucker for textures, and this is Texture City. It's lovely. The colors are just amazing. The contrast between that really aqua blue and the red is just wonderful. It's almost like it's a forest. You can see all sorts of things in this image. It's nicely composed, and the colors are extraordinary. Lovely shot. Well done in seeing it, and thank you for capturing it for our enjoyment.
Birthday Rose for the Fallen, 9/11 Memorial, New York City.
This is a really nice tribute photo. It's in really nice focus. The flower is beautiful, soft against the metal of the World Trade Center plaque here. Serendipitous to get the World Trade Center in the same shot as the person and the flower. So that was a nice shot, a nice opportunity to capture an image like this. It tells an incredibly poignant story. None of us can look at that probably and not bring back all sorts of memories, and want to know more about Daniel Nolan too. So well done in capturing the shot. Thank you.
Life's a Big Kick,
This is a fun shot. I like this. I love the texture in the sand. I love the sort of really, really light, bright sky, because we've all been in situations where that sky is so bright and yet she is still visible and clearly visible. If you had the opportunity to work with this person as a model, and if they were agreeable to working with you, I would get rid of the flip-flops in her hand and I would ask her to look up a bit more and do something with that back hand. If you get an opportunity to work with somebody who would spend a few minutes with you playing around, I love the concept here. I just think the shoes in her hand are sort of taking my eye away from the rest of the action, which is really what we want to be looking at, is that sand flicking up and that wonderful stretch of her leg, but also maybe have her look up so that we see some promise in that sort of kick and doing something about that backhand that's just sitting down there. But otherwise, a lovely shot. Love the sand being kicked up. It's a good shot. Thank you.
Dusty Miller.
Okay, I've got to turn my page. I love the shapes here. I love this palette. There's the colors here, this sort of pinky orange and the green work really well together. Serendipitous that the building behind this chair is also in that same sort of green color tone. Love the shapes in the chair, love the the shadow that it's casting. It's a real nice little moment in time capture, sort of a restful image. It's a sort of image that you could frame and put on the wall and just really enjoy just looking at the shapes and the colors and the light here. Nice shot, well done.
Sleepy-eyed swans, nap time.
Yeah, this is an amazing shot. I'm still trying to work out how you did it and where you did it. It's lovely. There is so much detail in the swan's feathers, so you've been able to capture this so well. It's been so beautifully exposed. The reflection is just impeccable. It's just lovely, still, well captured, beautiful dark background thrown out of, the background's been thrown to the background so that all we're invited to do is to enjoy these amazing shapes and this amazing reflection in front of us. This is a beautiful shot. Well done.
Travel Basic, 3 images.
Along the Kungsleden Trail, northern Sweden.
So in terms of travel, this is a great image. There's a real sense of place here. We know that it's cold. We know that we're out in the middle of nowhere, but we've got this wonderful trail that we're going to follow. We can see the little markers going off into the horizon, and it's sort of sharp or identifiable all the way through to the horizon. So I like the fact that we've got this sort of curve happening, and there are some people in us somewhere just tripping along behind. Nice capture, beautiful textures. Well done. Thanks, Dave.
Sapa is located in the northwest region of Vietnam. Rice is a staple of the ethnic residents, and terrace fields cover the mountain slopes surrounding this village that sits at 4,921 feet elevation.
This is a great shot. It has got so much going for it. Firstly, there's a real sense of place. We know that we're in another country. We can enjoy those beautiful terraced hillsides, that repetition of those curves around the hillside. The palette is just very, very restful, those sorts of blues and pinks and greens. So there's plenty of color in it, but it's muted color. So it's just a really, really nice shot. It's the kind of image, again, you could spend time just investigating all those twists and turns and the colors in the rice paddies. Lovely work, well done.
Family prepares for temple. In Bali, at the age of 2, children are parented by fathers for proper cultural upbringing. Ubud, Bali, Indonesia.
So this is a sweet little image. I love the pom-poms on those girls' shoes. They're just like, they're like the icing on the cake. They're so cute. And they are obviously little girls and they're obviously spending time with their dad. And that's evoking all these wonderful feelings about the Balinese culture. There's enough in the background there to identify this as being perhaps a temple. So yeah, love the little girl looking at us, not too concerned about the other little girl looking away because there's plenty of room in the shot for her to look into. Love the fact that her dad is brushing her hair. It's a nice little moment in time capture. Nothing not to like about this photo. Well done.
Double intermediate, 3 images.
A river runs through it. New Orleans sunset on the Mississippi.
I just love these colors. It's just such a restful color palette. And yet there's a lot of detail in the paddle steamer here in the foreground, all the way through to that bridge in the background, lovely architectural details and that cracker of a sky. It's a really nicely composed image. The light in the boat in the paddle steamer is actually almost winning the battle against the light in the sky. So it's actually a good foil for the light in the sky. There's plenty of man-made light as well as this amazing light in the sky. Beautiful colors, really, really nice shot. I like this one a lot. Well done. Thank you.
Northwest of Healdsburg, in the heart of the scenic Dry Creek Valley, is the historic Dry Creek General Store, established in 1881, a must-stop for their deli, seasonal merchandise, and rustic bar.
Now, I have never been to the Dry Creek General Store, but it's on my map now after this. So well done, the person who shot this. This is not an easy shot to get the lines right with because you're shooting it off center. You're not facing the store, but the lines in this image are working really well. The lines that should be horizontal are horizontal. So nice work there. If I could do anything, I would get the keys of that SUV in the middle and just drive it out of there because I want the Porsche in the foreground or if whatever it is. But I think I could lose the SUV because it's a little busy in terms of vehicles. Otherwise, it's a nice shot, nice little store to shoot lovely detail in the roofs and things. So yeah, well done. I hope it's not your SUV. I didn't mean that anything more than just get it out of the shot.
La Difunta Correa Roadside Shrine, Argentina.
So this is a really interesting shot, but I think that you've missed an opportunity in the title because there is something significant about the water bottles in this shrine. And I would like to have known that. So perhaps look at your title when you have something that might otherwise be a little bit of a confusing topic because it looks a little bit messy, but in actual fact, the significance of those water bottles would sell this image if it was in the title. But otherwise, yes, it is a nice little shot of something that apparently is really quite common in this area of Argentina. So thank you for showing me something that I was not totally aware of what it was all about.
Travel advanced, 3 images.
Color Wave, Skagit Valley Tulip Festival, Washington.
Oh my goodness. This is just extraordinary. The colors, this is just gobsmacking color in this image. It's got everything going right for it. The contrast between the purple and the red, which normally are colors that you wouldn't put anywhere near each other, but they work really well here because it just hits, this photograph hits you in the eye with color. Colors that don't generally work together, greens with purples and this amazing blue sky, they're fighting each other, but because of the topic and because of the way it's shot, it's actually an image that you can enjoy, and it almost has a restfulness even though the color is all over the place. Great shot, love it a lot. Well done.
The university town of Coimbra, Portugal. The University of Coimbra sits above the town and is the 7th oldest university in Europe, dating from 1290.
This is beautiful. These are lovely buildings, amazing textures and colors, and there's little buildings and big buildings, and we can see them all because it's really nicely composed and it's really, really sharp. It's also 1 degree out of out of alignment. That at the very first thing I saw with this shot before I went wow for the rest of it was the waterline's out by about 1 degree. It's on a slight angle, and to people who see angles, that is really distressing. So it needs to be straightened a little bit. Aside from that, love the shot, love the complexity of it, and love the color and detail. It's really nice. Want to go there. It's on my list now. Thank you.
The Blue Basin Overlook Trail leads past formations colored in shades of greens and blues caused by the weathering of a mineral called celadonite, sheetrock unit of John Day fossil beds, Oregon.
This is incredible. I've never seen color like that in a landscape. It's this amazing sort of turquoise blue. Lovely light coming from the clouds. It's dappled light, so it's throwing shadows over some areas and light over others. And lovely that you caught the light in the really interesting foreground area there. There's actually the person in the foreground is giving the entire thing a whole lot of scale. Again, without that person, it would be really hard to understand exactly the magnitude of what we're saying here. Big country, this a photograph that captures that big country really well, and it's nice and sharp all the way through to the distance. So it's well captured, well composed. Like this a lot. Well done.
Travel Masters, 6 images.
Soft sunlight after a rain warms up Yik Fat, infamously known as the Monster Building. 5 interconnected 60s era government subsidized towers housing 10,000 people. Quarry Bay, Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's almost claustrophobic looking at this image, and you certainly do get a really good sense of the age of these buildings, the number of people who live here, and just how incredibly architecturally detailed this is, at the same time as being somewhat horrifying as well. I love the person in the foreground. The fact that they have that amazing parasol and that they're looking up is really interesting. It adds a lot of visual interest to this shot. So well done capturing it. I have not been to those towers, but they would certainly now be on my bucket list because that's an amazing place. Thank you.
In Kolkata, hand-pulled rickshaws are still used, but are being phased out as inhumane. Pullers earn about $1 a day, but have little hope for other income. Only a few hundred remain in use. India.
I really, really love this shot. I love the colors. I love the incredible sense of place that we have here in a very, very small shot. I love the fact that the rickshaw driver is looking at us, and there's some sort of friendliness in his face. His hands are beautiful. The shot is in really lovely focus. And there's this amazing sense of place and time almost standing still here in this photograph. It's a photograph I would be very pleased to have shot myself. I love it a lot. Well done. Thank you.
The Palouse is the most productive wheat growing area in the United States. Lentils, barley, and chickpeas are also major crops, and canola fields can occasionally be found.
So this is the quintessential grain shot, and there's nothing to not like about it. I love these kinds of images. I love the spiky grain against the cloudy sky. The grain crop is fairly sort of shallow in terms of depth because there's some green hillside behind it, which just gives it a really nice framing behind it. lots of detail in the foreground. We can see all of those lovely grains on the wheat. Just beautiful, beautiful textures, that green, blue, white color scheme. Lovely capture. Well done.
Sticky rice, ready for market, Thailand.
This image goes to show that you can shoot anything if you've got the eye for it, because I love the texture in these sticky rice packets. There's color here, there's texture, there's some on different angles to others. You could put this on the wall and you could enjoy looking at it because there's plenty to look at, and it's just 100 or so packets of sticky rice stacked on top of each other. Well done for seeing it, and well done for capturing it with nice sharpness and just giving it to us to enjoy, because it's a nice little shot. Well done.
Los Angeles offers a transcendent side to the town with the Walt Disney Concert Hall.
So this is a lovely shot. It's a beautiful building. It's typical Gary stuff. So it's got curves and metal and things happening. If there's something here that's concerning me, it's that big spot of light in the foreground. It's blown out, so we've pretty much lost detail in that area of the image, and it's a fairly sizable area of the image. It is dragging my eye continually to that area because your eye is going to go to the lightest, brightest area of the image. And I'm at risk of losing the curves and the lines in the rest of the building. So that would be my only contribution there, is if you could fill that bright spot, that blown out area, the image would be the better for it. But nice capture, lovely building. Well done. Thank you.
A boy pauses next to an ovu, a shrine used in folk religious practice, Gobi Desert, Mongolia.
Well, this is a really interesting image. It's got that sort of very typical of that area, very typical of a lot of shrines. They're not designed to be particularly beautiful. They're just designed to be what they are, which is a shrine that people use to remember things. I love the sort of feathery bits there. I love the fact that there's a sort of metal fence around it. That's really cute. If there's a complaint here, it's the little boy on the bicycle, because his bicycle is pointing off the edge of the photo. So in looking at it, I'm continually dragged back down to him and looking in the direction that he's going, and he's off. If we could turn him around and face him into the image, I think it would be stronger for that, because it would bring our focus back to the shrine, which is really the second key element in the image, as well as the little boy. But otherwise, nice shot, big country. Surprising to see it green. I guess I didn't expect it to be so green. So well done. Thank you.
Okay, 5 to 10 minute break, and we'll be back with the awards. That's right. And the winners, journalism intermediate. There were no awards, journalism basic. So we're going right into journalism intermediate. And second place, Ellen.
Thank you. The comment from the judge was that there were no people. Well, there was a great family there, but unfortunately there were also a whole bunch of tourists intermingled with them. So I don't have photos of just the people.
Nice.
Very nice. I
Very
love that
nice.
one with the leg.
Congratulations. First place, Betsy.
Oh, that was good, Betsy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think the photos speak for themselves. It was a very moving experience for me to witness this.
Nice.
Very, very nice.
Congratulations. Journalism Advanced, 2 images. Honorable mention Jennifer.
Yeah, I really enjoyed spending time in that rural cemetery. What I thought was interesting about this Wright's tomb here is that the family was so wealthy and had this big, beautiful monument. And then the little colored boy had this tiny little broken stone, which is why I didn't choose to make a close-up of just that small stone. But he was buried in the Wright family plot. So I thought that was interesting also.
Mhm. Yeah.
Congratulations. First place, Bill.
Wow.
You here?
No,
No,
I don't think he does Zoom.
Congratulations.
That's
Bill.
amazing picture. Beautiful.
Yeah,
great shot.
really. Hope we don't see more of that this year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Journalism Master, 4 images. Honorable mention, Tim.
Well, thank you very much. It was nice. Your comments about cropping and so on. The reason why the 4th image was there was it fell into a verbal pattern. You know, celebration, repeating again and again. And the 3rd one is one commitment. The 3rd one, dressing up. And the 4th one, dressing down.
Yeah, Tim, Joe, excuse me, Joe and Frank are my next door neighbors here in Monterey. And I wonder if I could get that shot to give to them.
I would be glad to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were the first people to get married. The first time Newsom was when he was mayor, and then they got married the second time when it also became legal, and then they got married a 3rd time when it finally the federal government allowed it. So they're rather activists.
They're the Marian kind.
In fact, Joe is a sister of perpetual indulgence, and his first name when he was a novice sister was Sister Marion a Man.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
Congratulations. 3rd place. Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, and thank you. This was a lot of fun to watch these goats eating all of this terrain. It was just an amazing and astonishing thing, just in a matter of a very few days. Did I do that? Oh, well. I agree. I would have loved to have gotten rid of that other goat, and I thought about it, but since it's journalism, we're not allowed to remove things from the picture. So
I love this
thank you
one.
very much.
The lone goat. Oh, tomorrow.
Bill, did you recognize the person? Wait a minute. Maybe not. 2 honorable mentions. 2nd place, Tamara.
I haven't seen her tonight.
I think she's not here.
Yeah.
She said she was stuck in traffic with some accident.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow.
Bummer.
Not
Beautiful.
correct. Something going on.
Stunning. She always does such beautiful portraits.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Tamara. 1st place, Bill.
Well, thank you.
Knew that had to be yours.
I know, really.
The King of the Hammers is a week-long event. Each day, an all-day race, about 100 miles. And in the middle of the week is my favorite, which is the Everyman's Challenge. And these are the guys that build their own cars in the garage. They have very little budget to work with. They don't have big sponsors. And so this is an actual, their cars that they're driving. In this case, two brothers, Sean and Brian. They eventually came into fourth place and came to this little canyon, and it was completely filled with cars already stuck. And you have to basically go through these canyons. You have to follow a particular route. And so they winched their way up the hillside to get around everything and came in fourth.
Wow. That's
What
impressive.
lens were you using, Bill?
That was about 100 millimeter effective. Now, I was pretty close. I was right there. Let's see, what was it? Yeah, 200 millimeters of full frame, so 100 millimeter on my camera.
Wow, you were close.
That was the short range I had. I was actually too close.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Monochrome Basic, 4 images. Honorable mention, Laura.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw him at Ellis Creek one day and just thought it'd make a neat monochrome picture.
Did it go for Snake?
Yeah, it is.
The good kind.
Yeah.
Congratulations. 3rd place, Mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I entered this one other time and didn't place, and I really liked it, so I thought I'd try again.
Where's all that feedback coming from?
I'm not sure.
Ah.
But anyway, I appreciate the judging tonight. A lot of good feedback, and thank you.
Great image, Mark.
Fabulous.
My mute on here.
I'm wondering if it's me.
If somebody's on the phone and they haven't muted their Zoom, that sometimes causes that. So.
Congratulations. 2nd place, Elizabeth.
Done, Elizabeth.
Thank you. A remarkable museum near Nice in the south of France. So this is my title. Lots of feedback. Thank you.
Someone's
We'll do the feedback dance. What?
Does it start and stop? Because I was playing with my mute button, and if I turned it on and off, it would have started and stopped with you. But if it was continuous, it's not me.
And it's not happening now.
Right.
Oh.
Yet. Maybe it's intermittent.
Okay. 1st place.
I wonder if getting further away from the, this microphone helps.
Fritz.
Usually does.
Yay, Fritz.
Yeah, this is a shot on our dog sled trip in northern Sweden.
Oh.
The judge's point, it was cold. The interesting thing about the picture is that this is at timberline in northern Sweden. We're sort of used to seeing conifers at timberline, but up there it's birches, and that's what these are, birch trees that are the highest trees that live up there. Kind of a bleak scene. It's a Swedish scene, you know.
Job.
Congratulations.
Congrats indeed.
The cursor is there.
Monochrome Intermediate, 4 images. Honorable mention.
Thank you. It's what it is. Grass, sand, water.
Great
Um,
time.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to come up with titles, but
Point raised.
this was and thank you.
Okay. Congratulations. Third place, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Nice.
I took this on a photo safari, that's what they call it. The photo walk in Manhattan of iconic Manhattan buildings, and I've passed this a million times, but never saw it this way. And I replaced the sky
Good job.
because it was
Yep.
boring, and it just needed something. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Second place, Dick.
Oh,
Aw.
Oh, thank you. I don't know quite what her expression means, but the title says the whole thing. Terry and I were visiting a school house, and they were very busy, and she fixed on me, and I got her picture.
Great job.
beautiful.
What a sweetie.
Such soul.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pat.
Thank you. Yeah, this is an image that we took while we were in Sisisflay, Namibia, as it says, and it was just, we were up very, very early, and we were coming back and saw the mountains, which were beautiful, and converted it to black and white.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. Monochrome advanced, 3 images. Third place, Linda.
Oh, my little. Maybe I shouldn't talk. Oh, well, thank you. This was just really fun to do. And Bolsa Chica took the pictures.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
Good job. Linda.
And the little topaz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell by the little lines off the beak and stuff. It's one I use too.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Congratulations. Second place, Trisha.
Oh, yay. Yay. This is an infrared photo taken on our last trip. I think this is on the way to Benton, California, but it was on a 395 field trip that we did a while back, like a year or so ago. So thank you. Appreciated your comments. Works really great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. First place, Gary.
Oh, well, thank you. I liked your comments.
Beautiful.
I might explain on this. Of course, it is Land's End right there. That's at Gleason Beach, between Bodega Bay and Jenner, where the houses have been having demolished because they're sliding down the hill. Highways needs to be moved because they're losing the cliff line. You can even see a staircase in the lower left-hand corner that slid down there that's going nowhere. There also was a on the king tide, there was a 7-foot tide on top of a 15-foot surf. And that's why it was just, I mean, the ocean was just unbelievable.
Well, very great.
Great shot. Good job.
Congratulations. Monochrome Masters, 4 images. Honorable mention, and
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is just an iPhone picture that I worked at a lot on using Snapseed to get it the way I wanted it to be. So, thank you very much.
Beautiful, Anne.
Yeah, great. Gorgeous.
Congratulations. Third place, Steve.
Oh,
Pretty.
beautiful.
Where is this, Steve?
He was here.
He leave?
We lose him?
Yeah, he was here.
No, he's here. He's just not saying anything.
Is he muted?
Yeah, he's here.
I don't see him.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong Steve.
Right, I don't think he's here anymore.
We're down
Oh.
for Steve. Oh, maybe not.
Congratulations, Steve. Second place, Tim.
Tim.
Well, I knew it was you.
Okay.
Tim.
Knew it was Tim.
Yep.
Thank you. At MIT. And, I must say that I had a lot of input from others on this, which I greatly appreciate. And it was inputted, so thank you for your comments.
Where did you take that?
MIT.
Oh,
A great place.
wow.
Great exposure. Really great.
Well done, Tim. I love it.
Congratulations. First place, Mike.
Mike. I knew that was you.
I was there.
No. Oh, no.
Pretty tough to figure out who it was, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, me.
There's no eagle in this picture, though.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
great.
it's coming now.
Beautifully done.
Helen was correct. That was a indoor pandemic thing. And I watched a video of a guy who was taking portraits like this. And I said, well, that's pretty interesting. I think I'll try it. And that's too bad. Anyway, I worked it out. It was a lot of fun.
What was his name?
You know, I don't remember. I think he was from Australia, actually. But he takes a black piece of foam core and puts it in front of a softbox, and it sits in.
That's
So
weird.
I got to try that. Plus, I got to use the Canon app with my new camera. So it all came together. So thank you very much.
Very cool.
Great, very good.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Pictorial basic photo images. Honorable mention, Mark.
Hey, Mark?
Oh, sorry. Had to find that unmute button. Yeah, this is just out at, there's a lot of good shots out at Ellis Creek.
Oh.
And I got a lot of good shots of this bird when I was out there.
This is great. Really great.
Thank you.
He's giving you the look.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Third place, Elizabeth.
Oh. Love this.
Thank you. Me and my beaches and big skies, but great spot to visit on the North Sea. And thank you.
Beautiful.
England.
The white at the lower left and right, you could vignette can take care of that. Congratulations. Second place, Fritz.
This is our, you guys have heard about it. This is our favorite place to go up in the High Sierra. And it was a real quiet morning up there. And it just was a good shot.
A long hike?
Fritz.
Yeah, well, it's about 30 miles in. It takes about 3 days to
In from where though?
Well, it's from the west side of the Sierra, a place called Marvin Pass.
Markleyville, did you say?
I said Marvin Pass. It's in, yeah. We hire packers to take a lot of our stuff with us, but the last 10 miles are on our own up off trail.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
It's there every day when we're up there. It's pretty cool.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Congratulations. First place, Laura.
Wow.
So gorgeous.
It is
Congratulations.
stunning. Stunning.
Thank you. I have a, there's that echo. It's Olompali in Novato.
Oh,
is that
I've never
all?
been there. Neither have I.
Wow.
A friend into photography told me about it, and so I went the next day to go see them.
So you
Stunning.
got the atmosphere that kills. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Beautiful.
So was this sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise, I kind of cheated. They don't open until 9.
We won't say anything.
Beautifully done and processed.
Really great.
Yeah. Wow.
Congratulations. Pictorial Intermediate, 4 images. Honorable mention, Betsy.
Oh, thank you. This is our local rookery on West 9th Street.
Oh, yeah. Missed it this year.
Fun
Very
place.
nice. Yeah.
Always good place to go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Really nice.
Congratulations. Third place, Greg.
Oh,
This bluebird I just about stepped on while we were out admiring the gardens at the Kendall Jackson Winery. And I looked out and this bird was sitting on the ground, and which is unusual. I reached down to nudge it, but before I could touch the bird, it flew up into this tree. And I walked over to the tree. It was one of those walnut trees out there. And I took a shot, and I didn't like the light. And to my surprise, the bird just sat there. So I flipped up my flash and took a flash.
Oh, good.
Oh,
nice.
And this is the result. It was a real pleasant surprise to capture this and have the bird sit there as long as it did. I was only like 4 feet from it.
Lovely.
so stunning.
Second place, Betsy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You know, one of my favorite subjects. And the light was just, yeah. You know, it's kind of, you know, everybody has heard it a million times, but it's all about the light. And this guy was just standing there, waiting for me.
Is this a Bodega Bay?
No.
Just by your house?
Yes, it's out.
You are so lucky.
No
Oh,
kidding.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I am
Gorgeous.
absolutely blessed.
Uh-huh.
Gorgeous.
We have to get that figured out.
You know?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Visions of light and the audio is getting us.
yeah.
Congratulations. First place,
Beautiful.
Well, thank you. These are, if you ever get a chance to go to Namibia, I would plan ahead to go to these dunes. We had to rearrange our trip in order to have a place inside the park. So it is a challenge, the sound. so we could get there early because it is a distance and there's only one place you can go in the park and and it's limited. So it's just an incredible place. Very ancient dunes. Thank you so much.
Very nice.
Congratulations. Pictorial Advanced, 4 images. Honorable mention. Linda.
Well, thank you. This was, oh, wait till it dies down. The golf course. In Oakmont. Yes. And this was sunrise.
Is it frosty?
No, it was chilly. Yes, it was. It was frosty.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice. Saw this on Facebook. Love it.
It looks like if people get closer to it, they get the echo, maybe staying back.
That's what I thought.
Or not.
Or we all mute ourselves until it's our turn to talk.
Okay.
That's a thought.
We could try it.
Lovely reflection.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Third place. Trisha. Unmute.
Yeah, thanks. This was out at the former Quarry Hill Botanical Garden by the bridge. And it was really a challenge figuring out the one that's the lightest at the top is above the water and everything else is below the water. And I was really pleased with how it turned out, given the challenge that it was to take the image. So thank you very much.
Clapping.
Nice. Yay.
Great image. Love this.
Excellent.
Congratulations. Second place. Gary.
Pretty.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a fun one. I just went as far as the front yard, and we've had this magnolia that we've transplanted several times, and every year it just keeps on living. And I just tried to lighten the background, but I wanted to leave a little something there for a sense of place. But that's basically it, with a little vignette. A comment, there was a lot of comments about bringing out texture. One of my little tricks is when you're in, whether in your Lightroom or one of the other ones, is move your highlight slider to the left and your whites to the right without blowing them out. And I know some of the pros will take and move that highlight slider way over to the left, but it has a tendency on whites to bring out the texture. So in veils or
Thank
something.
you. But how did you do that with the aperture of 6.3? That's amazing. I would have thought it was f16.
I think I took that one. Let's see, what have I got up there? ISO 100.6.3. Oh, it doesn't say. What it is I have an older Nikkor a macro lens, and I believe I did it with that one. And just everything seemed to be close enough on the same plane to make it work, I guess.
Wow.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Nice work.
Congratulations. First place. Linda.
Oh, good heavens. That's a little girl, my little girl. But that was at Doran Beach, and I was sitting down in the dirt. And she came romping past and went down there, and a bird just happened to be there. It's like I was so lucky, and I hit the shutter button, and there it was.
It's
magical. Yeah. Clouds.
The sheer magic, Linda.
Oh, thank you.
You didn't Photoshop the clouds?
No, I don't know how to do Photoshop yet.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and you processed it so perfectly.
Yes, it's just perfect.
Lightroom.
Nice capture.
Sebastopol Library show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a stunning piece.
Oh,
Wow,
thank you very much.
Image.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks.
Well done.
Congratulations. Pictorial Masters, 4 images. Honorable mention, Bill.
Wow.
Thank you very much. This is, the texture comes from old cement. It's the Pig Palace in Jack London Park, lichen on cement.
Wow.
We merged a couple of images, one with the blues and whites all brought out, and then another layer with the reds, and brought them together.
What does the title mean?
Agni is the god of fire, Hindu for fire.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Beautiful shot.
So
amazing what you learn.
Wow.
Congratulations. Third place, Mike.
It was one of my early morning photo walks downtown Petaluma. And this fella sat down to have his tea outside of Starbucks. So the light was on him and I thought, I'll try and take a few pictures. Thank you very much.
Perfect timing.
You're so tuned into the light, Mike.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Second place, Mike again.
I got lazy and did two in Pictorial, sorry. I took this at Ellis Creek and I used a spot metering on the white swan because it had a really dark background and it turned out pretty well. So I'm happy. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Nice cuddle.
Love it.
Congratulations. First place, Tony.
Great shot.
So stunning.
Wow, beautiful.
Three colors.
Not Diablo.
Tony, go.
He might have gone to bed early.
He left us.
He's got to get up early to get shots like this.
I know he does.
Right.
I think I was with him when he took that.
What?
I think I was with him when he took that one.
Is that right? Like
Lovely shot.
Yeah.
I was actually there on that shot.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah. It was very early and lots of mosquitoes.
You guys really suffer for your art.
Congratulations to Tony. Travel Basic, 3 images. Third place, Elizabeth.
Oh, my fabulous trip to Bali. I can't wait to go back. And the culture is just fascinating. So
Congratulations. Second place, Bits.
This is our this is our dog sled trip in Sweden. We did it was about 7 days. We all had our own dog sled, did about 130 miles.
Oh.
This is where you learn how to change a camera battery on a moving dog sled. Because it was cold. It was cold and the batteries would die, but that's what it is. It looked like that much of the way. It's kind of fun.
Congratulations. First place, Laura.
Thank you. I took that several years ago in Vietnam, actually before I got into photography. I enjoy taking pictures and I've been kind of revisiting some of my trips and that was actually a cool place. It actually, it snows there in their wintertime, which is interesting.
Wow, the first place for this time.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Travel Intermediate, 2 images. Second place, Eric.
Yeah, no, that's not my SUV. But if you think about it, there's 3 vehicles there, a Porsche, a motorcycle, and an SUV. And it just tells you there's something there for everybody. It's a fun little place. If you've never been up there, you got to stop in. It's halfway between 101 and Sonoma, Lake Sonoma. Nice little place to stop. They've got a great deli, and just go in and take a photo of the bar in there. It's really rustic. Anyway, thank you.
Congratulations. First place, Ronnie.
Thank you. This was the last trip I took with Ben. Our kids couldn't decide where they wanted to have Thanksgiving, so we left them and went off on our own and had Thanksgiving at the Seattle airport on the way back from New Orleans. But it was, we had amazing weather, and the weather in New Orleans is very iffy. And all of a sudden, this amazing sunset happened. And this is right across from Jackson Square, if any of you know New Orleans. That's where the cathedral is. So it's like, it's tourist city there, but for some reason, it was very quiet down by the river. And I was so excited that I got a paddle wheeler, because that's so typical of the Mississippi. So thanks, everybody.
Congratulations. Travel advanced, 3 images. Third place, Bill. And
Still not here.
congratulations.
In the city.
Second place, Herb. And I don't think he's here tonight, is he? No.
Ralph hiking again.
Oh. The color of that salad tonight. Very interesting. And first place, Guy.
Haha.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
He was here, I thought.
Was here, yes.
It was here, yeah.
Oh, a moment for a comment. I will be reading about this, but in the future, you notice this is a travel shot and it says it's in Washington. But where in the picture can you tell it's in Washington? There's nothing that identifies location here. Pictorially, it's a great shot, but for travel, we've been getting some feedback from N4C, and in the future, the review committee, we may get a bit tighter on these. So be forewarned. Travel masters, 4 images. Honorable mention, Nancy.
Right. Whaley,
I knew.
Gary and me, we went here because I'd seen a photograph in a Fuji travel site and asked the guy where it was. So I took a taxi to this infamous place. I hear that photographers like to go there. I learned that afterwards. It was pretty interesting. It's kind of fun to find things like that. Most don't know it.
I took a quick look at some pictures of this place. None of them are this dramatic or intimate.
Way to go, Nancy.
Yeah, you really captured it.
The vertical. Third place, Anne.
Thank you. I'm kind of afraid to talk. I'm afraid I'll echo forever. So it was just, I've always really liked the shot, and I decided I'd put it in, and maybe it should be in Pictorial instead of in Travel, but anyway.
I love
Thank you
the
very much.
3 fuchsia packages. They go into the yellow.
And second place, Jerry.
Well, thank you very much. I wanted to really capture the light and shadow on this, and I was very pleased with that. And I used Lumenzia on that to help me. The Palouse is a remarkable place, and I felt that this did capture the essence of it. I do understand what Steve is saying, and I think that's something to be aware of. Thank you all.
Very nice.
Congratulations. First place, Tamara.
So great.
Eyes.
Great smile.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Tamara. And that's odd. It didn't go right. So I be right back.
Oh, wow.
We've got to get rid of that echo.
What was best of show?
It's the competition manager's a little flaky tonight. It's supposed to go directly to it, but it didn't. So now I'm going to go to another selection where I know it will be there.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Whoa.
Wonky.
I think we all got a mute, folks. Somebody has an echo.
Okay, whoops. See if I can do this now. Now, are you seeing a blank screen or?
Blank screen.
Black screen.
It is not cooperating. Give me, I think I know the problem. Take me a couple of minutes, just a sec. Am I sure? Are you seeing my screen? You are, okay. Just a minute. And I hope I get this right because I don't have the winners list in front of me. Oh. Oh,
You could just tell us.
here we go. And now I got to share the screen and Okay. You see competition awards? Is that showing? Okay, here we go. And the winner is? Come on. I gotta move my cursor back. Yeah.
Yay.
Nice
Yeah.
shot.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Oh, congratulations.
Beautiful.
I
Congratulations.
love how sharp it is.
Yeah, wonderful.
Congratulations.
Colors are amazing.
It's
Yeah,
an amazing place, to be honest.
yeah.
Hey, can I just say one thing? For those of you that use Facebook and are not members of our club Facebook group, join us. I always post the best in show after each competition.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great night, and thank you to our judge. Helen, you did a great job as usual.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank
Wonderful.
you.
And I really
wonderful
enjoyed
job.
your comments.
Loved the comments.
Oh, thank you for sharing such beautiful images and for trusting me as a judge. I love doing it. And it's so cool to see such wonderful images.
Well, I'm impressed with your research too, because you actually knew about that roadside image with the water bottle, and you were absolutely right that needed to be added. So thank you for that recommendation, because it's quite a story.
Okay.
Impressed
Could
you
you
knew.
tell us sometime? I'm fascinated.
I'll resubmit sometime with the right information.
Please.
There we go.
Well, thank you, Helen. I really learn a lot from you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Please
Thank you.
come back.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Come back.
We'll have you back.
That tip, Gary.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Right.